we're going to another topic that's right at the core of what Tech Sylvania is, enabling startups, and we'll have a really cool pitch feedback session with Pareto Holdings. So before we'll get to that, I want to really thank and introduce our host for the session. Jennifer Austin has been around in the Eastern European tech ecosystem for a long time, and she has been a founding partner at Risky Business. So there she's, besides investing in startups, she's been great at developing and mentoring a whole startup ecosystem. She had her hand in 30 plus different kind of startups, and helped investing in a lot of them, but also mentoring them. So I think what Jennifer has been excellent, she has been excellent at really bringing a whole startup ecosystem together. And she has been the first one to build an acceleration fund in Romania. So I'm really, really glad that we have her as a continuous supporter for Tech Sylvania. And with that, I want to give the stage to her to introduce her judges and the startup that she's brought to present here at Tech Sylvania. Thank you so much for joining us again, Jen. It's great to have you.
Thanks, Philip. It's great to be here. So we're very pleased to present this special pitch showcase with Pareto Holdings, a Miami-based fund founded by John Oringer and Edward Lando to incubate and invest in world-class businesses and nurture the development of Miami's growing tech scene. So Pareto is an early-stage fund with the mission of supporting smart, ambitious people, regardless of where they live or where they attended college. So they're quite at home here. With us, we have Nadav, Chief of Staff. He cut his teeth in M&A advisory in New York City. And Rajul, an associate with a bit of a background in NASA and a bit of a background in hedge funds. So today we have 5 startups from the wider Tech Sylvania ecosystem pitching from Australia, Sweden, the UK, and Romania. So without further ado, we're going to have the first startup pitching, and that is Serena from One to One Tribe. I believe they should just be handing over the slides now.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you. Perfect. Hi, and thank you for the opportunity. We are One to One Tribe, and we are helping people to live healthier and more sustainable. I am Serena Fredholm. I'm the CEO and co-founder of One to One Tribe, and my other 2 co-founders are Michael Fredholm, previously CEO of one of the most successful fitness chains in Europe, and Darren Olin, a New York Times best-selling author and the host of the #1 Netflix documentary, Down to Earth. We know this. People want to live healthier. They want to make sustainable choices, but they do need help. And 2 of the main success factors when it comes to implementing healthy habits and a healthy lifestyle is to be guided by experts, and 2, to have the support and the motivation from the community. We have launched our MVP 1 year ago with Darren Olin, who's one of the most famous thought leaders in the wellness industry. So we took his best-selling book, Super Life, and transformed it into a 21-day program where people are following and implementing Darren's philosophy and Darren's healthy habits. The program was an immediate success, and we have sold for $118,000 without any paid marketing. But more importantly, our users are loving the program and they are getting amazing results. We are growing a strong and a passionate community, which we love, and they want more from us. They want to stay connected. They want to help each other. They want to follow the programs as a team together. So we have created camps for them where camps that they are led by experts, where in addition to following the program in the app, we offer them access to WhatsApp groups, to private Facebook groups, to Zoom meetings. So it has been a few crazy months lately because we are part of all of these groups. So every time we're waking up in the morning, we have like thousands of messages there. But what I would like you to do is to meet our tribers. So let's hear them.
So incredible to just be a part of something so powerful, impacting us individually and as a group.
Mental health has greatly improved.
I'm feeling great, much more energized.
I feel as good as I did the first time. It just wasn't as hard getting here.
Man, it's been awesome. It's even more fun than the first round.
All that I was really hoping for was just to feel restored. And already in 5 days, I can feel my body doing that.
It kept me on track today.
Just keeping me inspired and keeping me going, just knowing like I'm not in this alone. I'd rate my week probably a 10 out of 10.
I have made a jump start on my new life path.
Feel so good in my body.
I haven't been with it like this since I was, a freshman in college.
This is a huge non-scale victory for me.
It's incredible what can happen in 31 days.
And all the positive vibes.
Helping spread this movement.
Wanting to get tattoos together.
I've never felt better in my whole life.
I lost 7 pounds.
Other people out there in the tribe really helped me along.
Have other people along with the journey, otherwise I probably would have quit.
To come together from all over the world.
Usually yawn like 40,000 times at work every day. Don't think I've done that this week.
I would not be able to do this without all of you.
So we have been in this industry forever, but we have never seen such transformations. I mean, these people really radically improved their lifestyle. Everything from increasing their energy to getting off meds, to getting tattoos together, which is pretty crazy. And also they want to bring their family and friends to join the next camp. So we believe that this is actually a movement that can truly have a global impact. We have access to top experts in the world that wants to join our platform. We have the growing community that wants everything that we are offering. So we are raising funds for product development to scale, to onboard more experts, and also, of course, to market everything so we can reach more people. Thank you so much. I'm here actually with my partner, Michael, so we can take the questions together.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the presentation. Hi, Michael. So I guess a couple of quick things. So is this similar to like a master class kind of thing, right? Like how does the product exactly work? Like what is the business model?
Yeah, it's very close to masterclass, of course, only contained in the wellness industry. So, but still, the similarities are top experts delivering a program. What I say, the biggest difference is that the masterclass is just video lectures. This is a much more engaging program where you are following a meal plan, you train it together, you meet up on WhatsApp that we would like to put into the app. So it's more of it's similarities, top experts delivering a program, but it's in a more engaging way and within wellness.
Got it. Okay. And how are you guys acquiring users right now? Is it mostly SEO, word of mouth?
Word of mouth. So,
word of mouth, yeah. No marketing so far.
Wow. So you said you've had close to, I think 30,000 users or somewhere around that number. And that's all organic?
Yeah. Yes, organic.
Okay, interesting. And how long has the platform been up? I mean, that's a lot of users with zero marketing. That's a pretty high number.
It's a little over 1 year we have launched.
Yeah, July
last year.
Mid-July last year.
Okay, cool. And how big is your team today?
It's us two, and then we have outsourced development and Daryl. So we are a small team with outsourced tech.
Got it. Okay. And so let's say you're raising $1 million. I mean, is the product essentially finished at this point, or are you just trying to add features and then it's really just $1 million, to acquire customers and market this thing?
Yeah. The product is the first phase version is ready where we can sell programs. The thing is that now people following the programs, one person at a time. So we're doing all of this, which has been highly successful. All of the community features are actually done through WhatsApp and Zoom.
External tools,
which doesn't allow us to scale if we want to join, if we want to run camps with many people. We can scale it with individual programs for individual people. But the big power here is to do it in teams. And also now we're selling one per program is a time limited one price. We really need to get into the subscription model because the revenue is bouncing all over the place. We don't get a steady growth rate. And for that, we need a subscription model, which our users have confirmed that they want. They are ready to pay between...
We're going to have to jump on to licenseware. I'm sorry to cut you off. But I believe that you're a member of the Pareto community, aren't you?
I am?
No, I believe One-to-One was somehow involved there.
Yeah, through Vlad, we were in contact with you guys a while ago.
Yeah, so we're going to jump to licenseware. And so actually, One-to-One Tribe is a Startup Avalanche alumni, and we're quite proud of the evolution of this team. So we're just onboarding licenseware now. I believe he's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
The floor is yours.
All right. I'm Alex, and I'm here to talk about licenseware. We're building a software license management platform that is designed to help our users reduce the cost and risk associated with software licensing. The risk associated with software licensing relates to software vendor audits, which are quite common within the industry. The actual chance of being audited by one of the big software vendors is really high if you're a big enterprise. And on average, enterprises pay around 5 million euros in audit fines. Also, the cost reduction aspect is a huge benefit of doing proper software license management. There's a lot of shelved software, shadow IT, that is basically wasted resources. A bit about myself. I've been working in the industry for about 11 years now. I've done vendor audits, so audits on behalf of big software vendors like Red Hat. I've worked in consultancy, helping companies reduce the cost associated with software licensing, but also defend themselves against audits. And in the past 4 to 5 years or so, I started building automation for software license management. To give you a bit of background, this type of work is being done in Excel sheets. Most of the times by big consultancy firms. You also have boutique type of firms, and it's really hard to automate, and it's quite tedious work. So what is the, let's say, the key differentiators of us versus the competition? Whereas you have quite a few products on the market that cater to this need. All of them kind of have the same specifications. Basically, they are a one-stop solution type of thing. So you just have one tool that supposedly does everything and is quite mediocre in some areas. And you also end up buying something that may have functionality that you do not use. We're building an ecosystem of apps, of modular apps that can be used independently or together. And they are highly specialized on a product group or a specific vendor, could be Microsoft, Oracle, IBM. And they do just one thing, but they do that thing really, really well. So it's a really focused approach. All the other tools in the market are closed source. So only the company itself develops the software. We want to take a community-driven approach because we believe that the value lies in the knowledge and expertise of industry experts, and you cannot build it all yourself. So leveraging the power of the community, which is quite strong, we're going to manage to do this. As validation for our concept, we signed the first customer as Accenture. They are saving about 50% of the time required in delivering a project. And they are now in the process of renewing their existing contract and buying additional applications. We have a simple business model which basically revolves around a subscription model, which is 1,000 euros per app per month. A bit about the team. Ciprian Grigore is the CTO. He's been doing software development for about 13 years now. He's also the founder of Licenseware, the one who built the first MVP, who came up with the concept. Chris Allen is the sales guy. He's been doing sales for about 6 years now, and he sold about 25 million worth of software in his previous job. We are raising a seed round of 1 million. We already have 500K committed from our current investors. It's a soft commitment. And we are looking to raise the other half in order to fuel our growth for the next 18 months.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So let me ask you this. Where do you stand on the product right now? I mean, is it pretty much ready to go?
Yes, we launched the first MVP in early 2020. Since then, we also launched the platform, which holds now 2 active applications. One other is in beta, and we have another 4 that are in pipeline. So we have products that we can already sell right now, but we are constantly building new apps that cater to different types of needs.
Got it. And I assume, I mean, this is mostly for enterprise, right? So what's the sales cycle look like?
So the sales cycle is between 3 to 6 months because we are quite early stage, and sometimes there needs to be some custom implementation included. But as we mature, this is gonna kind of narrow down.
Right. And who's like your the ideal use case, right? Like, what does an ideal customer look like at this point?
Right now, we're focusing on SAM service providers. So these are big and small consultancy firms that offer advisory services in the software asset management space. As mentioned, it's a good opportunity for them to streamline their operations. But as our, let's say, ecosystem of apps becomes more complete, we are going to be very appealing to enterprise customers that already have a SAM function internally in their company.
So we're going to have to jump to AgUnity now. AgUnity is actually in a very interesting space, and they're joining us from Australia, but their footprint is quite global.
This €30 AgUnity phone will enable a smallholder farmer to lift herself out of poverty. And we will do for millions of farmers just like her what Alibaba did for manufacturers in China. This very phone will soon be given to a farmer in Ethiopia or Papua New Guinea, and it may just be the most life-changing possession that she ever owns, but it is obviously no ordinary phone. There are thousands, in fact millions of good organizations trying to support and work with these last mile communities, but they all struggle to connect with these people efficiently. And that's what AgUnity does, connects them to the last mile with this. Our phone changes farmers' lives because we rethought it from the ground up. We solve the key challenges that a simple app or a traditional Android phone cannot. This includes a user experience for people with low literacy and no prior experience with technology, solving poor connectivity in remote regions, and securely recording transactions on blockchain. AgUnity improves trust and cooperation between farmers, buyers, and cooperatives, and by cooperating better, many of our farmers have increased their incomes by up to 3 times in a single season. We've taken this technology to over 9 countries, and we have contracts with multi-billion organizations such as UN Capital Development Fund, Fairtrade International, World Food Programme, and more. And today, we've signed a proposal to start working with the largest cooperative in Africa with a total member base of over 500,000 farmers. We collect small subscription and transaction fees from the farmers, but we already have over €750,000 in annual project revenue that companies are paying us to connect them to the farmers. We are being paid to become the Alibaba for farmers so they can sell produce locally and commodities globally for a fair price. In a few years, we will have this opportunity locked down in several countries, and we can collect a substantial commission from billions of dollars of trade. But there was one major problem that we could not solve until now. For lots of commodities, and coffee is by far the best example, the farmer who does most of the work but gets paid the smallest amount is unfairly dealt with. For a cup of coffee costing you $2.80, the farmer gets on average around 7 cents. A reward as small as 20 cents direct from the consumer to the farmer means the farmer could earn up to 4 times more. And so we created the aggregate utility token. Aggregate is a direct reward system where every $1 of aggregate sent to a farmer is $1 received. The farmers can immediately use aggregate to pay for Aggregate phones, farm supplies, school fees, and more. And you can also become a token owner and a participant in a blockchain ecosystem doing good and targeting tens of millions of farmers as the primary users. This is only possible because Aggregate already has our phones in these communities. The Aggregate phones are used for transaction between farmers, cooperatives, and buyers, so it is a seamless integration of the aggregate tokens into this system. 3 billion tokens were minted in July 2021, set an initial price of 1 cent per token. Of these, 1.65 billion are allocated to pre-sale bundles, the second tranche of which has just opened after the first tranche was oversubscribed. And critically, there is massive circulation potential within Aggunity's existing partner network. Just one of Aggunity's existing partners transfers enough cash to their farmers for services and equipment each year that equals the entire circulation of aggregate. Of course, none of this would have been possible without a magnificent team spread across 18 countries. And we've also been recognized for a number of awards and institutions as a model of positive impact technology. And that's us winning Startup Avalanche last year. And finally, by combining our existing successful model with the new aggregate utility token, we are now in a position to scale many of our projects, and with thousands of new users, our revenue will increase from transactions and subscription fees. By 2024, we will have evolved into a global food marketplace, doing for small farmers what Alibaba did for manufacturers in China, while ensuring they earn more for their produce than ever before. And by doing so, millions of people will be lifted from poverty. I'm Angus Keck, CEO of Agguni, and thanks for your time.
Awesome, thank you. So just a couple questions so I understand. So first of all, do you guys manufacture these phones?
No, we don't manufacture the hardware. We've got partnerships with manufacturers in China.
Got it. And do you sell those like to the farmers, or how? Or do you just
we do,
hand
yes.
them out essentially? Okay.
Yeah.
So is the model kind of partially getting paid for the hardware and then subscription-ish on top?
What we try and do, we don't usually actually try and make too much money off the phones because we see them as like, that's the pathway. It's like, the pathway to getting a user on board. So it's really about the transaction fees and subscription fees. There might be a slight margin, but when you're talking a €30 phone, you're not really going to make a lot more on that.
Got it. I'm just trying to kind of understand, I guess, as far as the model goes, there's kind of like the blockchain piece, right, with this token. And then the core revenue model, though, right? The core revenue stream is essentially the subscription, right? So I think you said that you guys had $750,000 in revenue in 2020. Is that the right number?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's pretty impressive. So what are you guys looking to raise now, and kind of what's that capital going towards?
So we had been raising under a safe note in preparation for a Series A. And what has kind of, I guess, changed this year is we decided to launch a digital utility token. That's Aggregate. Aggregate's actually run by a separate standalone foundation. What we're really trying to do is get our user numbers up and the amount of phones out in the ecosystem up so that when we go for the Series A, we're in a really strong position and, we can kind of get the best valuation possible. So actually the big ask we're going for now is we've just opened tranche A for aggregate utility tokens, and we're keen for people to kind of get on board with that.
Got it. So how does that work in terms of the investment structure?
So the utility tokens aren't actually an investment technically. I won't go into it now because we've probably only got about 20 seconds, but due to the SEC regulations, I actually have to be very careful about what I'm allowed to say. But basically, if you go to agunity.com or aggregate.org, you'll be able to see the white paper, you'll be able to see the details of the tokens, and you can buy one today, or you can sign up for an EOI. You can reach out to me at Angus@Agunity. I'll have a chat with you as well.
Okay, sounds good.
And
awesome.
With that, we're going to be jumping to Flow OS, a Romanian startup with quite an interesting background. I believe they should be onboarding now.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Great. Hi, that was quick.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so we start? Because I'm not seeing
let's do it.
1 second. Okay, so we are FlowOS, and we are building the world's first cooperating system, a technology built to empower our hybrid world. Because we truly believe the future is hybrid. Already a fundamental shift in the structure of work is happening. Every day new apps are being pushed to the market to sustain this new context. But with this, new problems are emerging. Maintaining coherent communication and collaboration flows is getting more and more difficult. We have too many screens, too many accounts, too many apps that need to be in sync to get our jobs done. To solve this problem, a new approach is needed. We need a technology to act as a connective tissue between users, data, and tools. A technology that allows us to bring all your collaboration tools under one single fit-for-your-purpose virtual space. And this is exactly how we designed FlowOS, the platform for bundling communication and collaboration into integrated ecosystem. You have to imagine it as the Amazon Web Services for collaboration and communication, a collection of tools, services, and functionals deployable by non-technical users in any possible configuration. A company with FlowOS, a company could create its own private space to do all their internal or external meetings. They can create this space for to work together, to exchange data, to have a coherent space in which to do their activities. Another company could create an entire engagement ecosystem for their employees, with spaces for networking, spaces for learning, a custom branded experience, and all their favorite tools all under one single roof. The use cases are endless. Okay, so with our technology, we are perfectly positioned to address the new work 2.0 market. We target to become the operating system of the remote workforce. We already launched an MPV and won Product of the Day and Product of the Month on Product Hunt in July. Our focus in the next period is to evolve our product and generate traction mainly to validate our mechanics, and we target to go live with our end product at the end of next year. We are a team of 45 people with 2 founders with an intense entrepreneurial experience. Myself, I founded one of Romania's leading system integrators with a turnover of over 25 million euros. And Radu, my co-founder, is also a well-established entrepreneur in the UX field. Now we are raising 2.8 million to get our product to the next level and build early traction. And this was our pitch. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So a couple of questions. First of all, you have a team of 40 people right now. Are those full-time employees?
Full-time, yeah.
And if so, how have you raised money previously to cover those?
So basically, at this moment, we are founded by our own money, our own resources. All these people are full-time in the team. They are part of the product team. Over 85% of the headcounts are involved in the product development. Considering the complexity of what we are building, a super strong technical team is needed.
Got it. Okay. So I understand that there's, I guess, endless use cases here, but what is like a common, right? Or what is like the core use case that you guys are going after right now to kind of grow this?
Our main use case is a unified space for collaboration and communication, but in a customized way. I mean, our scope is to create fit for purpose spaces, or our user to create their own fit for purpose use cases based on collaboration and communication. Basically, and in the first phase, we will focus on pushing custom-made ecosystem for small and medium companies.
Got it. So let's say, like for us at Pareto, right, we have a team of, call it, with 8 or so, right? So if I come to you and I say, hey, you know, I want to get on the platform, like, how can this be helpful? What would be like the next step, right? Like, what happens after that?
Basically, FlowOS mainly we will have a self-service approach. So basically, you will have there a low-code, no-code interface where you will be able to customize your space to add your own branding and put your own functions. And basically, you will be able to deploy it yourself. You know.
Got it. Okay. So the onboarding process, essentially, it's pretty straightforward where the company can work through it.
Exactly. That's our purpose, everybody to be able to do their own custom-made ecosystem directly from a low-code, no-code interface.
Got it. Okay. Interesting.
So we're going to be welcoming RF meters with Razvan Sima, who should be onboarding onto the stage right now. Are you with us?
Yes, of course.
Great. So we're going to have to keep this quite tight. Good luck.
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm Razvan Sima. I'm happy to be here, and I represent RF meters. And today we will talk about smart metering. Yes, it works. Smart metering is a system that brings benefits to everyone involved. It helps consumers to manage their consumption better and to be invoiced by the real consumption. For governments, is a key weapon in the fight on climate change and saves lots of money for utilities by a more effective grid management and a better prediction of energy consumption. These are just a few of the benefits. That's why the European Union issued a regulation in 2014 that all country members have to replace the old electricity meters with smart meters until 2024. Of course, no one can achieve the target, but with 45 billion euros investment, the penetration rate is about 52% and around 200 million units are installed. Romania assumed a target plan in 2018 to replace half of the old meters with smart ones until 2028, and the other half in the following 10 years. Of course, we are behind schedule, but 100,000 units options have already started. So we are in a strictly regulated market with assumed plans and huge penalties for those not reaching their targets. The main problem is the technological one. The existing technology when all started was PLC, who delivered the number of required readings at that time, 1 per day. But the game rules changed quickly, and the readings demand increased to 1 every hour, and now we are at 1 reading every 15 minutes. But other requirements appear, like software upgrade over the air, or what do we do with the existing already installed digital meters? Another important necessity which appeared due to the liberalization of the energy market is the possibility to digitally interconnect different types of grid, electric, water, or gas. These new requirements cannot be delivered by old technology, PLC. The RF meter solution is represented by a smart module that can be attached to any type of meter who reads the data from the meter and transmits it wirelessly through our own developed protocol to a concentrator who relays the data through an existing network to the utility data center. The solution has been validated in laboratory and delivers all the current requirements. All the hardware and software installed and is developed by RF meters. Our plan is to sell our solution to meter manufacturers who can integrate the smart module into their meters or to sell it to utilities through integrators. We developed a new vertical for sub-metering application where we already have customers. Now we are preparing 4 systems to be installed. We already have agreements with 2 integrators, one for Romanian market and one for Hungarian, Czech, and Slovakian market. This is our team. We are a combination of experienced managers with more than 20 years of experience in industrial wireless tech and young engineers. Ovidiu is our tech advisor who already built this kind of system in US a few years ago. RF meters journey started in 2019 when we started developing the solution. Now we are working on a demo system with 1,000 units for the largest national Romanian energy distribution company. For the next year, we plan to finish our current demo system and to build another 3 pilot projects, at least one of them outside of Romania. We estimate that we will need around $250,000 for which we offer a convertible note with 20% discount. Money will be spent to finish the development and to raise the awareness of the RF solution through test systems and marketing. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you. So I guess in terms of like where the product is today, you guys are still kind of in the development phase, or do you have like, are you ready to manufacture?
Well, we have the MVP. Time to market is easier in the sub-metering business. In the large numbers, tenders are about 1 year from release of the documentation until the actual installation, but we are in, let's say, 90% of development ready.
Got it. And then I guess if this is a very highly regulated industry, I assume there's only a handful of players here, right? Like in terms of customers, I mean, there can't be that many. And if they have no choice essentially, but to put these up, what does the sales pitch look like, right? Or what does I mean, have you had those conversations again already? Like, do you have, for example, like, the big companies that run these in Romania essentially say like, hey, we have to do this. If you can solve this problem for us, it's yours.
Yes, in Romania, there are 4 distribution companies, energy. But the good thing is that the same rules apply everywhere in the European Union. So we can, if we manage to show our solution in one country, then we can expand everywhere. In Romania alone, around 400,000 units per year needs to be installed. So it becomes a rush. And the old solution does not really perform in the actual conditions. So they really need a new technology.
Got it. And how much do these units sell for? Like, let's say you got 400,000 units in Romania. What does that look like in terms of dollars?
Well, our plan is to acquire around 20% of the market. So this means in around $6 million per year.
6 million ARR. Okay, cool.
Yes,
got it.
But this can be achieved in 1 year, of course.
So we're going to have to jump to the final pitch, which I hope we'll have a few seconds for. Maybe
we actually have an 11 o'clock call that we have to jump to, Jewel and I.
Of course. The final pitch is just in one line. Tell us about Pareto Ventures and what makes you different.
Of course. Pareto Ventures. I'm happy to. So Pareto, we do a few things. We're based out of Miami, but we invest globally. We do kind of company building on one side, sort of like a venture studio model where we come up with an idea, bring in a team, fund them, and help them really build from zero to all the way to scale. And then on the investment side, we primarily invest in early stage companies, like I said, globally. Oftentimes, we like to be the first check-in when that's possible. Sometimes we'll do the full kind of pre-seed round for companies. Other times we'll jump in, more in like an angel role and write a smaller check. We're very active. We're averaging, I'd say, around 3 to 5 checks a week right now. So we sit on a lot of cap tables, and we like to connect the dots. And where we probably provide the most value to our portfolio company is on the fundraising side, where we've helped these companies raise hundreds of millions of dollars over the years. So that's sort of like the high level Pareto operation.
But it's very impressive, and what you're doing is very interesting. I hope we'll see you in more cap tables in Europe over time. And I want to thank everybody for joining, especially Pareto Ventures. They have really awesome operations. I researched them a bit. Everybody should check out the Pareto Fellowship and the community that they're building in Miami, which is an interesting and emerging ecosystem. And I want to thank these startups who joined us to pitch. Pitching is something that you learn with practice, and each pitch and the questions that you get from the people listening and investors teaches you how to pitch a little bit better. So one thing that I strongly recommend is everybody keep track of the questions they got asked and, develop 30-second or less responses to each question. So you have that in your back pocket for next time. And thank you all for joining and all the effort you put into this. And I look forward to having more great investors and more great startups on this stage in the future.
Thank you so much for having us. Really appreciate it.
Have a wonderful day. Bye, Philip.
All right.
Thank you,
guys.
Pareto
Thanks
team.
so much.
Was great session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and thanks a lot for setting all this up and reaching out. So appreciate it, and hope to get more involved with you guys.